Thought today would be a good day to take a look at my Veto Pro Pack Open Top XL. So OT-XL. See it right here in the background. I've had it for about a year. If you're using one of these and you're a low voltage guy, let me know how you use it. Right down there in the comments. Hey there, how are you today? If you're new to the channel, I'm Sean with Accent Alarms. I have about 25 years experience designing, installing, and servicing quality, long-lasting automatic gate systems. By automatic gate system, I mean I work on gates, gate operators, cameras, access control, and wired and wireless connectivity. And I've recently added video production to the list of things I do. I'd love to get your feedback, good or bad, down in the comments section, and please take a second to click on that subscribe button. It really helps us out when you do. Keep your head on a swivel and be safe out there. Let's take a look. So the first thing to keep in mind when I talk about this is remember that based on the type of work I do, which is often industrial or transportation sites, I work out of the back of my trailer quite a bit. And from that tour, you'll remember I've got the big tool chest there. So what I like to do, even if I am working in a building, is I set my tools up and my tool bags based on what I expect to be doing. So if I'm working on a gate, I'll have, more of this type stuff, some 3/4 inch wrenches, 7/8, kind of more stuff like that. Whereas if I'm hanging cameras, I don't need the same tools that I would need working on a gate. So you'll see with my tool setups, I often leave a lot of empty spaces, and that way I can kind of swap stuff out between my tool bags and my tool chest. So let's take a look what I by default leave in my bag here. I've got some things in here that normally I wouldn't have, but last time I used it, they're still in here. So the first thing I want to say is this is a really nice bag. I've had it about a year and it's worked out great. I've got a lot of spots that I haven't quite figured out what to do with yet, but like I said, when I'm going to work on a particular thing, I'll stuff some stuff in there. So again, I really like having that extra space. So you can see kind of starting up here on top, I like having a pair of nippets, and I carry one of each of these. That gives me a lot of uses for those. Conduit. These pliers here I've had since probably 1985 from when I used to work for my father doing fence. These have seen a lot of use, and I still will use these. A lot of times the guys will put up a slide gate for us, and I'll have to slide the fence ties up or down, and these come in handy for that and a bunch of other things. I always carry a couple files if I'm cutting some strut or din rail. It's important to file those edges down. I love this thing. It's a snap-on pry bar. I use it primarily to tighten my ramp bolts on my high security drive rails. It's got a nice thick end on it that fits those large flat screws that tie those ramps down. And it's a pry bar. Who doesn't need a pry bar? I also carry a large flat snap-on screwdriver. As you know, I have a lot of snap-on tools. I like them, take care of them. Pair of diagonal cutters, nothing special. I like this guy here a lot. He comes in real handy when I'm adjusting the brake valves or the gate catches or latch post catches when I'm working on gates. Slides nicely over the top of that lock nut in there, and then you can put the second wrench on the top without smashing your knuckles. 3/4 inch if you do gate work. One of the most common sizes. Little torpedo level. Little conduit reamer. like to stick a little mini crescent in here. Just comes in handy to have that around. I have a set of Allen wrenches. The ones I use most common. You'll see I kind of put those right here in the front in the pockets. I took them out now for this little show and tell, but typically they'll sit in here, so they're handy. 10 millimeter, I use that with my C-Glue radios a lot, so he's in there quite a bit. Like I said, this usually sits in my chest on the truck. If you're cutting Panduit channels, this is real handy. Gives you a nice straight cut. I've seen guys try and do it with other things. You get the jagged edges, looks like crap. Again, this is just a 1/2 inch. I don't know what I was using that for last, but obviously he's stuck in there. Punch, and then that's about it in here. Like I said, I like to save room to adjust for what I'm doing. So I'm going to stick these back in here, and then we'll take a look at the other side. Since I work out of the back of my truck a lot, I'll store my little 1/4 inch impact there, and it typically doesn't stay there. This is the first thing I do is attach that either to my tool belt, or it goes where I go. I probably hardly ever work without this thing. He's almost always attached, so I just kind of store him in here. And the same with this. This is my kind of working bit, and you can see I've swapped these out for the sizes I use and the most common for what I'm doing. I'm sure you guys do that too, and that rides in here too. If you guys don't have these, very handy. You can see I'm kind of down here. I've got replacements that I keep in the larger chest, and a 1024 is a common. He must have broke off on me. Same with the 1/4 I use that one quite a bit too. Keep an extra battery in there. My speed square, that comes in handy. I like to make my cut square. Little tube of silicone. And this is real handy. I like this. Little loop for your hammer. And you can see on the ends here you got some pockets. I usually have some tape on here. It must be on my other bag right now. Some markers. And when we turn it around to look at this end, kind of the same thing. You got a nice solid tape clip, more pockets. Probably skipped over. You got a nice pocket here. It's solid. What I really like is the strap. You can Velcro onto here so it stays out of your way. The bottom's a hard plastic, so you don't have to worry about putting it down on the ground. And I would highly recommend this bag. It works out great, especially for the work I do. And if you have any comments or recommendations, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. That's about it. Hey there, I'm Sean with Accent Alarms. Keep your head on a swivel and be safe out there.